And now we're live.
And there's no one here but a few people. That's okay.
Oh,
We
good
can say
morning.
all their names. Misty, Tim, Deb, Patty, and Janice. Good morning.
Yeah, that's unusual.
Yes, good morning to all of you.
Yeah.
We've had some storms here this morning.
Still having storms here this morning.
It is May the 17th at about 8:50. So better late than never, right?
That's right.
It was storming pretty bad earlier, so we had to wait. Even though we're downstairs in an odd location, we had to wait on that to pass so we could hear you guys.
Plus the lights were flickering.
The lights were flickering.
So that means that our internet would be cutting in and out, but you can see
we're in the middle of a mess.
Yeah.
Mr. Caden was supposed to be here at when the live was over at 9:00, and I messaged him. I don't think he was awake yet. Catherine said, yes, he's awake. So I messaged him and I got a response I didn't expect him to be awake.
Right.
Got a response about 45 minutes later and he said, yes, ma'am. So I knew that he had been asleep.
I don't think it's going to let up either. It's going to be.
Well, it looks like at about 11:00 it goes away. But I told him, I said, we can just play it by ear. If it goes away, come. If it doesn't, come tomorrow.
Yeah.
Do whatever you want to do.
Because
right. We need you.
And we got plenty. We got plenty for Mr. Caden to do around here.
He could actually come and help me clean the house if he wanted to.
He'd clean the barn.
He could clean the barn. I had my spray paint set out for him for the trailer. I told him yesterday, I said, I've got all the paint set out. So if we're still doing the live, when you get here, just go ahead and start painting. Well, he's not going to be painting today.
He's not going to be painting today.
That's okay.
Yep.
That's okay. There's plenty of other things that he can help us with. And he's been helping Catherine this week. So he's trying to earn some extra money. He fished in a tournament yesterday. So I learned. That's probably why he slept in.
Probably so.
I hope he caught the biggest fish he ever caught. As y'all know, we think a lot of that young man. And he's just the hardest worker I've ever seen. So.
Somebody said the winds got up to 82 miles an hour at their place yesterday.
I pushed the green stalks into the garage earlier this morning because it came across my phone as weather threat and the winds were going to be high. And so I just rolled them into the garage, and that's the best thing we can do because, but they're heavy, even to push.
They're heavy, and the garage is not easy.
It's an uphill.
It goes up to keep any water from going into the garage. And so it goes up and then it's flat, and getting over that little hump is kind of sketchy.
Well, you know what I thought?
What's that?
If it does topple over, it beats being toppled over by the weather. At least I did it rather than the wind. Than the weather. But it was difficult. I shouldn't have been doing it, but I wanted to get it in there.
I got you.
And I did it.
Well, to be honest, I didn't think we were going to have a live today.
Well, I tell you, I looked at the radar at 5:30 this morning and I saw it coming, and I knew there were some things outside that I needed to get moved. And thankfully I was able to get that moved before, the storm came, but it's everywhere. And Kentucky, oh my gracious.
And Missouri.
Y'all, your thoughts and prayers are welcome for those people. They were hit very hard. There were some loss of lives. I don't think they even know how many, but it was bad. So just thoughts and prayers for everybody that was in the path of that nasty tornado outbreak.
That's right. It was.
Well, I'm glad to see you're better.
Well, I was about to say that was one reason we didn't know if we were going to have a live. So night before last, in the middle of the night, I woke up and just didn't feel good. I was kind of achy, and I thought, I just led it up to just not sleeping well. And then I woke up yesterday morning and I was still kind of achy and didn't feel good. And I was like, I feel like I got a daggone fever. And I checked, and I did. I had a 99.4.8
is what you told me.
That's right. The first one was 99.8, almost 100. And I thought, this is nuts. I didn't have any other symptoms. No sniffling, no coughing, no sore throat, no nothing. Just that almost 100-degree temp. And I lay back down. And then I got back up again and checked it again, and it was like 99.4, 99.5. And then I got back up late that morning and checked it, and it was semi-normal, but for the rest of the day, no matter if I took Tylenol or not, it was 99.4, 99.5 all day long yesterday. I was really tired. So I didn't do anything. I just kind of laid in the bed all day yesterday. I say I didn't do anything. I took care of the horses and I don't, especially with your hand, I don't want you fooling with the horses at all. And so I took care of the horses and, just a little normal stuff. And I came in and I told you, I was like, I'm just going to have to lay down.
Well, we had big plans yesterday.
We did. We did.
We were going to go to North Alabama. You'll see in my video tomorrow why. And we were going to go as a family because where I was going was about 30 minutes from one of our favorite places, and that is Bama Bucks.
Mm-hmm.
And Bama Bucks is like it's kind of, I don't know, you won't call it a petting zoo. It's like an animal exhibit.
We never even gone.
Well, I did.
Y'all did go through it?
Yes, we didn't even get a chance to discuss it because we felt bad when we got home. And Jason was going to go. We were going to have a family day.
Mm-hmm.
As a matter of fact, Caden had asked me Thursday evening if I needed him Friday. And I said, well, Caden, we're going out of town Friday. So if you want to, you can just plan to come this weekend. And so yesterday morning when he told me that, I said, well, you can ride with us, but I don't really know if you ought to be going in anywhere because we don't know if what you got, contagious or what's going on. And I hate for you to be miserable all day. So you decided to just stay home under the conditions that you would rest.
That's right.
And so
look at that.
Brooke Snyder. It's spelled just two letters
They're
off.
in London.
How about that?
I just caught my eye. I didn't mean
Okay,
to change
Brooke
this.
Snyder.
Didn't mean to change the subject.
Brooke Snyder in London. I am Brooke with an E, and my maiden name was Snyder with an I. So that's kind of ironic.
Yep.
But Jason stayed home, and Mary Carl and I were able to go and do what we needed to do, and get back. But we didn't get back till it was 8:00. 8:00 last night when we got back.
Yep.
And couldn't leave here. Weren't planning on leaving here until 12 or so. But you still didn't feel good.
I didn't, but I woke up this morning. I'm completely fine and no fever, no nothing.
I don't understand it. I checked him for ticks. The first thing that came to my mind when he had a 99.8, almost 100 temp was it's a tick because he had Rocky Mountain spotted fever in 2021. 2021.
That's about right.
And y'all, that it's a miracle he's here. It's not funny. It's serious.
I guess
you were so sick.
I was sick with Rocky Mountain spotted fever.
But the good thing is they say once you get the Rocky Mountain spotted fever, you can't get it again.
Yeah, that's what they say.
Supposedly.
Allegedly.
Who knows?
Yeah.
But my first thought was this tick is something tick related, encephalitis or something that you haven't had. And I didn't find a tick. But that didn't mean anything because when he had Rocky Mountain spotted fever, we didn't find a tick either. We just found a swollen spot under his armpit area that was inflamed. Never saw a tick. Never saw a tick, but we know that's what it came from. And oh gosh, I was thinking, how many times did I ask you yesterday, are you okay?
A bunch.
It was just, I told him, I said, what if you spike a high fever and I'm up in North Alabama? He said, you can come home. I said, yeah, but I'm 2 hours away.
I'll be fine.
I'll be fine.
Okay. I'll be fine. But it obviously wasn't serious or anything like that. So
yeah, wasn't serious. So hopefully wasn't serious. Hopefully you don't spike a fever today. And
I feel completely normal today. I have no idea what it was.
I don't know what it was either. No symptoms. That was the weird part. So you didn't really have any symptoms with the Rocky Mountain, just a fever and aching all over.
Yeah, it was bad. This wasn't bad.
Well, I just was thinking it could be climbing.
That's true. Yeah.
It could be coming. It's that time of year for ticks. And I told you I've already had a few on me already this year. And you just, it doesn't matter if you're walking around just on the driveway. Ticks can be anywhere. And
they are.
And
that is scary too. They are. That little old bug is scary because they carry so many things. So, yeah. I won't ever forget Jewel, our little blue heeler we had.
Yes.
This was probably 8-9 years ago, and we let her out to go to use the restroom in the backyard at our old farm, and went and checked on her, and her back legs wouldn't move.
She couldn't move.
Her front legs could, but her back legs could not move. She was completely paralyzed, just only her front legs, and she was kind of walking around, and it scared us to death.
Yeah, because we gave her a tick and flea peel that was supposed, it'll stop ticks, but they're still going to bite them in order to get rid of them. And we didn't know what was wrong. We never thought tick. And so Jason had to pick her up, and we loaded her up and took her immediately to our vet, Dr. Holbrook at the time. And it was tick-borne paralysis. And we didn't find a tick on her.
No.
But the doctor knew immediately what it was, and she was paralyzed.
She was completely paralyzed.
And they said most of the time after treatment, they will regain use of their legs, but we didn't know if she would or not.
Yeah, scared us pretty hard, but she did.
She did.
Yeah.
She did. It was bad. And, I kind of felt like from that point forward, Jill was never the same.
Maybe not. I don't know.
I don't know either. Got a friend of ours that got a tick on him cutting grass, riding the riding lawnmower, y'all. And he had developed encephalitis from it. And he's not right to this day. He has not like a seizure, like where you seize, but a brain seizure. And he has them all the time, and they cause him to be violently nauseated, and it's just horrible. It's affected him for life.
And he had that where the meat smelled.
The alpha-gam.
He couldn't eat meat because it smelled like rotten
I don't know
meat.
if he had that or not. Alpha-gal.
Yeah, he had that.
Alpha-gal.
But it went away.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Isn't it though?
That's crazy. He couldn't eat meat because it smelled so foul.
Yep.
Isn't that nuts? That's crazy.
So that part of it disappeared, obviously, because I couldn't even remember that. But he still continues to have the brain seizures and doesn't know when it's going to happen, and just wipes them completely out.
I don't know who. I know her name's Brenda, but I don't know her last name, and I didn't see it. But I saw some comments afterwards that her husband currently has Rocky Mountain spotted fever.
Goodness gracious!
So we will definitely be thinking about you, because it was rough. It probably took me, after they gave me all the meds, probably almost 3 weeks.
Yeah, I would say 2 to 3 weeks for him to shake it, and us to feel like he was going to get over it. And it's just a scary, scary sickness. Any tick-borne illness is. So not too long ago, Mary Carl and I frequently walk in the woods because we're looking for birds. And it was when we took the snapping turtle and released it down at the creek.
Yeah.
So that evening, I said, my finger had already happened in that time, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
No, it was before that.
It was before that?
Yeah, because you blamed the snapping turtle for it happening.
Happened in my finger?
Something about if you wouldn't have got the snapping turtle and then...
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So snapping turtle happened right before my finger incident. Yeah, because I said if I hadn't got that snapping turtle, this wouldn't happen. It would have been 30 minutes delayed.
Yep.
We go in the woods to release the snapping turtle and get back home. And I felt something, of course, on me, and I couldn't get it off. And it was teeny tiny tick. And so I don't have any fingernails, and I couldn't get it. No, it was the finger incident had happened then because I couldn't get it off.
Okay.
Because it was that evening when I found the tick.
Okay.
I had gone to the emergency room for my finger. Couldn't get the tick off. Got Mary Carl to try to help me, and she's convinced it wasn't a tick. She said, Mama, it didn't have legs. Ticks have legs. But it was stuck on me.
Yeah.
And it was just a pin dot. And nothing ever became of it, thankfully. But I tell you, they can be so teeny tiny and so invisible. Until they start itching.
Well, I never saw the one. I just saw where he was, but never saw it, never felt it or anything like that. Miss Paula said that she lived with somebody that had the
alpha-gal
for 15 years, and it was awful, absolutely awful. And then there was another lady, I think last name was London, that said that they had a dog that had the paralysis, and their back legs were never right again.
I tell you, we were fortunate that Jewel was able to move again because they gave us the bad and the good.
Mm-hmm.
And the bad was, of course, we had to put her down.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't. She regained use, but she never was right. She always had that swollen area on her side. Remember when we took her in, she had a swollen area in her abdomen. And that really never went down. I don't know what you would call that. I mean, it was almost like it was a fluid pocket.
It was weird.
But yeah.
It was weird. I saw somebody ask, do chickens eat ticks? Absolutely.
But there's no way to control a whole 40 acres worth of. You can have guineas to control ticks, but you're still going to have ticks. You're still going to have ticks. The guineas are not going to eat all the ticks, and it only takes one to get on you to make you sick. These woods back here, I can't let guineas go free roam in there. I mean, if I turn guineas loose,
they get on neighbor's property.
Well, not only that, is the predator would get them. They wouldn't make it through the night.
And they are dumb as a box of stumps.
Oh, goodness.
They are not intelligent animals.
They are not intelligent animals.
Zero. And I will say this. Since we've been here, it's not that bad.
Oh, the ticks are nothing like they were at our old place.
Our old place was, you'd have to be really, really careful at our old place. And I don't know why. Because we had so many free-range chickens and animals.
I think it was we were totally surrounded by woods.
That and it was it's kind of wet over there too. So that may have something to do with it. Yeah,
it may have. But we had gotten to where at the old house, we after Jules' incident, we were so, I hate to say it, but I became kind of obsessed about ticks.
Yeah.
That Miracle was little and she had her autoimmune disease already, and I said, I didn't want to use something with DEET in it, but we made sure that we were covered before we went outside for fear of a tick. And I would check her all the time. It just became kind of an obsession.
Yeah.
And now Miracle thinks it's funny, because I'm so, make sure you don't have any ticks on you. And it's not funny. She doesn't mean that in a disrespectful way. It's just that I'm a little over obsessed.
That's right.
But they're serious, and I know the damage they can do. And the quicker you get it off, the quicker you have less.
Yeah, that's right. That's what they say. A lot of people from Connecticut are on here, and they're saying it's awful. Yeah, that north,
that Lyme disease,
west over there. I mean, east is
northeast.
Awful. Nick and Zoe are on here, and I don't know which one it is here, but they said that it's hard to get motivated and do things when the weather's like this today.
Oh, I wanted to go back to bed. I so wanted to go back to bed this morning. But I didn't.
Yep.
But I didn't.
But I will say this, talking about that, I tell you what I'm going to do today.
What?
Is that I'm going to finish the kids video. That's my plan today.
Did you start editing it?
I started editing yesterday, but I just didn't feel good. I got a little bit of it done and I kind of stopped, but I did record a kids video, and I'm going to, if it's going to be like this all day, and it looks like it is, I think I'm going to edit the kids video and get your video done today as well.
Well, I don't have mine finished, so you got to wait on me. I got to wait on the rain before I can finish.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jason, it's not looking good.
No, it's not. It looks like it's going to be a few hours.
Well, look, that's 11. It's gone.
Yeah, that's 2 hours away. I mean, I'll be sitting in the house for 2 hours. I might as well edit
the video.
You got
to help me. I got to finish my video, and it requires help.
Okay.
And
is it going to be outside though?
Yes, it's going to be outside.
That would have to be after 11 when it's not raining.
No, I borrowed a trailer.
Yeah.
From a place here in town, and I got to get it back before 12. So rain or shine, we got to work.
Gracious. Okay.
So I can get my friend Yvonne to come over and help me. Yes, I did say that. I can get my friend to come over and help me, and we'll get it off.
No, we'll get it off.
I'm supposed to go eat lunch with Zoe and Catherine today.
Oh, okay.
Over at the Flying Peach.
Yeah.
I'll bring you something.
Yeah,
I can't tell you that you're not invited, but really, it's girls' lunch.
I'll hang out with Derek.
You hang out with Nick.
And Nick.
Yeah. Well, y'all can sit at another table.
Nick and Derek can.
What about Tony? Tony don't get to come?
Tony working today?
No, it's Saturday.
Well, Tony's probably fishing.
You think in the rain?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, fish bite good when it's
That's
raining.
what they say.
Well, no, seriously, me and Catherine and Zoe are supposed to meet for lunch.
I wonder if Derek's doing ribs today.
I don't know.
Go look and see.
I don't know if he is or not.
But I did record a kid's video, and I do plan on getting it out pretty soon. Pretty soon.
Yeah, let's see, where were we? I was in Greenville, Alabama, at a place called Bates House of Turkey.
Oh, yeah.
And this was a month or so ago.
That's right.
And so I walked through, and this family was kind of, you know how you feel like somebody's looking at you? Well, they're kind of looking at me, and I just kind of smiled. And so I kept on walking, and then it's kind of like a cutout window, like one of those old timey bars, and they stick their head through there, and they said, "I thought that was you," and because they heard them say my name, Brooke, and I was picking up a food order, and I said, "Hey, how are y'all?" And they said, "This is so and so," and he was like 2 years old, and he loves Farmer Jason, and I said, "Well, guess what? Farmer Jason's out in the truck. Do you want to go see Farmer Jason?" He was so shy. And they were like, "Oh my gosh, you don't want to go see Farmer Jason?" Because I offered for the little child to go out and meet you. And he kind of, was bashful. And it was just so weird that, they were looking at me. And then they said, when they said Brooke, they knew it was me. That little boy was your biggest fan, supposedly. Farmer Jason.
Oh my goodness. So yeah,
kids that like the kids videos they really want more.
Yeah, they do. And that's my thing is I'm going to I told you one a month is my goal. And so I got one here, and then I'm going to go ahead and record another one when I have time. And I told you I thought I could record 2 in one day. It's the editing.
It's not the recording part. It's easy to not easy, but if you have a theme or if you have an idea, then it makes it easy to get it recorded. It's the editing that takes so long.
Yep.
I mean, ask any creator. You can make a video quickly, but the editing, and that's where I got it going on. I mean, all I got to do is go out there with a camera, and then I wish I knew how to edit, but it's just something that's beyond my mind. And Jason knows that. I'm a gung-ho person. I want to learn to do things, but that's out of my...
I will say this. Most of the time, when somebody decides that they want to do a YouTube channel and they record a video and they've done 5 or 10 of them, a lot of them will quit because of the editing. They do not like it.
Well, that's the time-consuming part.
You either like it or you don't. If you don't like it, then you're not going to do it. You're going to do it, and you just, and you can tell you don't like it. I mean, it's just
put together.
It's just put together. Yeah.
I couldn't even put it together. But, I've told Jason before, don't make things so complicated. Don't make things so complicated. Just put it together. Don't worry about your music. Y'all, he'll sit for an hour, try to find the perfect music that goes with the perfect scene. And I'm like, just mash the button already. He can't do it. You can't do it, can you?
I can't.
You got to make it the way you want it. And
yeah, I can't do it.
That was one of the things about my channel is when we started my channel, I said, you cannot put all that music in it. You can't worry about,
I don't,
he doesn't edit it hard. It's just, it is what it is. But you like to watch things that are edited hard, right? That's more appealing to you.
It is. It's
for the most part. Yeah. For the most part, except for your man Derek that works on cars. He doesn't edit hard, does he?
Yeah, a little bit.
What's that channel called?
Vice Grip Garage.
Do you still watch it?
Okay. Yep. Yeah, his is a different approach. Plus, he's working on the car. It's really not much editing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I can guarantee you would take a lot of it out and only put the important stuff in it. He has to make it just right. And I think that's why it's easier for you to edit mine, because you're critical of yourself. You're not critical of me.
I guess. And I got in my mindset that I'm not going to edit yours hard, and so I don't. I don't. Usually on my video, and it depends on how long the video is. How much do we record that day? Y'all, usually when you record, it'll be anywhere, just on average, 45 minutes. And when the video's done, it's 25 or 30. So there's 15 minutes that's gone.
Well, it's got to be because I talk too much.
Well, it's not that. It's a lot of walking around, and it's just hard to say. But so right off the bat, if it's a 45-minute video, so you got to watch it. So it's 45 minutes on, and then you got the editing. And so
I'll try to cut it down some because I didn't realize it was that long.
No, it's okay.
Well, I know, but I realize now that you have to sit and watch that 45 minutes. And if I could pay attention to how much I recorded, then I would probably do better.
Yes, it's okay. And then, like, say if mine's 45, usually it takes me 3 hours to do.
Yeah, but that's not including your downloading your stuff.
No. It's 3 hours
and
to
saving.
Edit. Yeah, it's 3 hours to edit, and then I have to. Bad thing is, so it's 3 hours to edit, and if it's a 30-minute video, I have to watch that video and make sure I didn't do something or miss something or something's wrong. And so if that point is, I go back and change it. But on average, just say 3 hours to edit it, and then once it's edited, and then it's probably another hour to check it, upload it, and make sure all the checks and balances are done and get it posted. And so you have 4 hours total from editing to getting it uploaded on every
that's
main channel.
That's a lot of time. Because you're talking about sunshine outside, you got things that needs to be done. But if you wait until the evening, then you're tired and you've worked all day. So, during the hot summer, it works out because, 12 o'clock, you just about can't do anything that's physical labor from here in Alabama at 12 o'clock to 2 o'clock, something like that. So that makes you feel better.
Yeah, that's right.
But when it's nighttime, you're tired. You just want to go to bed.
There was somebody, I saw Michael's comment. It says a blooper would be cool. There's some bloopers that I probably couldn't leave in there, like when Jesse bit the back of my arm. Honey, I mean, I may have said an ugly word.
And he may have said an ugly word when he got the skid steer off the trailer too. He had to edit that out.
Yeah,
it was like a Disney World ride. But we can't use the words that he used because sometimes they just fly. When you're scared, y'all, when I saw the replay of the skid steer coming off the trailer.
I should have recorded it when Mac loaded it, but I didn't record all the way through. It's just different. It's like it's there and then it's not. And so, yeah, when I was driving and off the trailer, I couldn't see anything. And that's...
I had my foot on the brake. That's why y'all couldn't see me. We had the parking brake down, but I felt that I needed to hold that foot brake down because it could get away from us.
Yeah. But yeah, it's I couldn't see anything. You can't. It's just straight ahead. And I know at some point it's gotta go down. I gotta go down. So I don't know if I'm off the ramp, if I'm on the ramp.
You just took it.
And I'm like, well, if it slides off, it's not going to hurt anything. It shouldn't hurt anything. So I'm going, and all of a sudden it just goes, just like that.
I had my foot on the brake, but I had my head hanging out the window. And of course, Holly's leaning behind me. I need to see my daddy too. And so I saw it, y'all, and all I could see was it's going. It was just like Splash Mountain at Disney World. Mm-hmm. It was just like you just went off that cliff.
It was. And it was just like that because,
Don't close anything out.
We're back. Sorry about that.
Is everything right on the internet?
Yeah, everything's right on the internet. We're good.
Something's going on. We're going to have to call the internet company or something because this is all right, I'm back. Good deal. All right. Sorry about that, y'all. We don't know what's going on. It's been happening for about the past 3 lives.
Mm-hmm.
Weather's been good up until today, so I don't think it's weather related. I do not.
I don't know. But that's what it was just like. It was just like a roller coaster.
Just like a roller coaster. And I must say,
but it happened the same way with Mac, but he was going backwards, loading it on the trailer. So it was like, and it went boom. And I was like, oh my gracious, that'd have been me. Oh, I might have had to change my drawers.
Yeah.
But then Chip tells me, he said, listen, don't ever load it. If you ever have to take it anywhere, don't ever load it driving it forward up on the trailer. Because that's your mindset, is that you would just drive it forward. He said, going up, it's not the bad part. You know how it was and it went down?
Yeah.
You're driving it backwards and it does that. And he said, if you do not have a implement on the front, it will stand straight up.
Oh my gosh.
Because, unless you gas it backwards.
Well, here's the deal, Jason.
Yeah.
We don't have to worry about that unless we buy another trailer. And
That's right.
I just don't justify buying another trailer just in case something happens to it and it needs to go to the shop.
Yeah.
Didn't you say that Chip had Bobcat come and pick it up when they had to have maintenance?
He did do that sometimes, and he also took it there sometimes. So either way, but the Bobcat place will come get it for a charge.
Yeah.
And it'd probably be well worth it because number one, those trailers are expensive. And number two, so up to this point, we've hauled a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Over the years, hauled a lot of stuff. Even my dad's mini excavator, we've hauled trenchers. But this is the first time I've ever hauled anything that heavy. And in my mind, I had the big trailer that Mr. Greg let me borrow. I thought this was just going to be no different than, pulling something else.
Pulling a tractor or whatever.
It's
because
really,
we pull the tractor back and forth between the old farm and this farm a lot.
We've and like I said, we've pulled a lot of heavy stuff, but nothing almost 11,000 pounds. And I got a new sense of respect for, not that I didn't respect an 18-wheeler driver or somebody hauling something heavy, but to do it yourself is eye-opening. I can tell you that. I had trailer brakes and all that, but if somebody slams on brakes in front of you and you're hauling something very heavy, your stop time is nothing compared to when it's not back there. I mean, that weight's going to push you. And it opened my eyes. I can tell y'all that.
Well, I'm just glad you made it home because I enjoyed the surprise part of it. If you had to call me and tell me I went and got a skid steer and then I had a wreck or I broke, couldn't get it home, whatever. It would have been a little different.
Yeah.
But you went to get your star on your driver's license, which you got.
I did. Oh, let me talk about that. So I went to Selma to get Laura said it was tough to watch Mac load it up.
I bet.
I could have held your hand, Laura, because it was tough for me. But I did get my star.
So I knew I had the appointment. So I had made Jason the appointment to get his star on his driver's license in Selma for the second time.
Yep.
For the second time, because you can make an appointment in Selma, which is our hometown, can't make one here. And they're only open 3 days out of the week in Clanton. So that makes for a very long line.
Yes.
So your appointment was at 1:30.
My appointment was at 1:30. And so I thought, and I told you, I was like, this is not going to work. It's really not going to work. So I did get my real ID because I guess my regular ID, my driver's license I've had forever, is a fake one. So I got my real one.
We want to go somewhere this summer, on vacation. And if we take an airplane, you have to have that star.
Gotta have it to fly.
And, May the 7th, I think, was the date that they started making you have that real ID.
That's right.
And I think that everybody realized that the deadline is here. And it's like they cleared out. The line's cleared out.
Well, a lot of y'all said that. Wait till after it's done. Wait till after the deadline's over with. And y'all, so number one, I'm hauling this skid steer through downtown. And first of all, where I wanted to park, it's right across the street from Ryan the Roaster's business, was full. And I thought, I don't have anywhere to park. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't have anywhere to park.
And this was his main reason for going to Selma. I knew nothing of, except for he had an appointment.
Yeah. And so I turned the corner, and lo and behold, there was a whole row of parking, and I just took up like 16 parking spots. And then I had to walk a little bit. So I'm walking, and I sent Ryan a text earlier to see if he was going to be at the shop, and he wasn't. He was doing cardio. And so I walk past Ryan's business, and I'm walking, and I get to, and I already had my mind that we're not going to do this, because last time they told me is that I needed my latest, I had 2023 taxes, and she said W-2. Well, I'm self-employed. We're self-employed, so we don't have a W-2. We have what's called a 1040. And so she was a little leery about my 1040, and it was 2023.
This was the last time we tried to get it.
Last time. This was the lady I had last time. And, she said I had to have a current one, which didn't make sense because all I'm doing is proving my Social Security number because I didn't have a Social Security card.
I used my 2019 tax return to get my Star ID, which you would have had a W-2 then.
Yeah, we're already at a W-2.
We would have had a W-2 then, but they had no problem with it. So I guess it just depends on where you go as to what the stipulations
are. That's right.
I told you, I said it's either going to work or it's not.
It's either work or it's going to not. So I had in my mind it wasn't going to work. So I'm walking up towards the courthouse, and I totally forgot. So right there is the big old sign that says no guns, no knives. You're walking through a metal detector. I carry a pocket knife everywhere I go.
I just knew you were going to say I carry a pistol everywhere I go.
And I said, I'm going to turn around, walk all the way back to my truck and go put my pocket knife in there. So I looked around and I saw
this is great.
I saw a gutter downspout right there on the side of the building.
This is so not you.
And so I hopped down and I looked around and I took my pocket knife out and I slid it right there by the gutter. And I thought to myself, somebody's going to see me do this and think, this guy's doing something.
You're going to blow the courthouse up.
This guy's doing something. I may need to call the law. What's this guy doing over there? But luckily, nobody did. So like I said, I slid my pocket knife under there and I walked back up, walked inside, not a soul in the building.
And I made the appointment for 1:30 because that was the only appointment available that day. Tell me why. Why only one appointment available?
I have no idea, y'all, but there wasn't a soul. The last time I went, there was a line, a nice line, not a soul there. And the guy that was working security, he's, 20, 30 foot. And he goes, what you need? And I said, I'm coming to get my Star ID. He said, come on. And didn't walk through the metal detector either. I didn't walk right on through. And then there was a girl there, a young girl. And she said, are you getting your Star ID? I said, yeah. She said, come on. And I sat down, and literally, as soon as I sat down, it felt like 10 seconds. She said, okay, stand up and get your picture right there by the blue screen. I was like, really? She's like, yeah. She said, take your hat off, take your glasses off. I was like, okay. So I'm standing there. She said, smile. So I'm smiling. And I sat back down, and she's making copies of everything. And I said, I didn't have my, I know it says W-2. I didn't have a W-2. She said, okay, making copies. And literally 10 minutes or less, it was done.
Did you remember your knife?
Yeah. So
how did you remember your knife? Did you get all the way to the truck?
No. I walked out and I said, 50-50, my knife's still there. And I thought somebody's going to get my knife and it's going to be in some kind of crime scene.
I just can't believe you remembered it.
Fingerprints all over it. But no, I walked right down yonder and I peeked, and there it was behind the gutter. So I slipped it, put it in my pocket, and I was gone.
I just can't believe you remembered to pick it back up.
I did.
So, can I tell about the checkbook?
Yeah, you can tell me.
So the next day, this was, oh goodness, was it yesterday?
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday.
Just because I
Yesterday
feel
morning.
good.
So we need to take a thumbnail for the video that came out yesterday. And that was, me with the skid steer. So we walk out the door and we go towards where Jason left the trailer hooked up without the skid steer on it. And as we get closer, we could see something all over the ground. It was white.
All over.
And, my first thought is it's goose feathers. Something has gotten a goose because it's nothing else. It could be white.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing else is here white except for the geese. And so we get closer and Jason's going, what in the world is that? What is that? And then he hits his head.
I knew exactly what it was.
I'm not going to hit my head. But he said, oh, I got to find the picture. I took it. Oh, yeah. I took a picture of you. You didn't know I took a picture of you. It's Mary Cross said that is the funniest picture I've ever seen in my life. And she has all these stupid pictures of me saved, but this one tops the cake. So y'all can only guess. I'll give you time to guess what this is. Do you see all that? Y'all have got to guess what that is. It's good. Oh, well, I already said it because I asked you if I could tell about it. It's not only there. If you'll look over here, you can see the lovely Loretta standing right there. She has some of that white paper in her pasture too, in her paddock. Y'all want to know what it was? It was the whole Cog Hill checkbook.
Yeah, it's one of those business checkbooks. It's like a binder. Yeah. And it had all our checks in it, like that. And Brooke said, what in the world did you do? And I said, I got the checkbook out of the truck to bring it inside.
It's not styrofoam, it's the checkbook.
And I got distracted. And so I set it on the hood of the truck and did whatever I needed.
You needed the bill of sale, and you had put the bill of sale in the checkbook. So you set the checkbook back down. And y'all, there were checks in the pig pen. There were checks under the truck. There were checks everywhere. And so I didn't say anything else, but I did take that picture and I did send it to Catherine immediately. And I shared it to Mary Carl, and I didn't say anything. I just sent the picture. I didn't respond as to what it was or anything. Of course, immediately, what is that? What's that? What's all that white stuff? It was the checkbook.
Brooke said, what did you do?
So I picked it up.
I get distracted. I get distracted.
Oh, I know you get distracted.
And so I got distracted.
Well, here was the thing. It's the day before that. We had drove the car to the truck. Do you remember that?
Drove the car to the truck.
I needed to get something out of the truck.
What'd I forget?
You got out of the car and got whatever I told you to get out of the truck and didn't see the checkbook on the hood. It had to have been there then.
Had to have been there then.
And neither one of us saw it. It was probably gone by then. Michael?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's a picture to remember.
Oh, Nick or Zoe said that Loretta wanted to go on a shopping spree.
Well, she probably did, because there was some that was in there with her that
they got tore up.
They will never ever be in order again. I'm picking them up. Jason's picking them up, of course. Mary Cross said, why are they not in the binder? How did they come out of the 3-ring binder?
It must have been one heck of a win.
The binder wasn't open.
I don't know, Brooke. I have no idea. It must have been one heck of a win.
I don't know. I know the wind was blowing yesterday morning, first thing when we went out. So who knows what happened during the night, but it was something I will never, ever forget. And we picked it all up.
And it's in the back seat of the truck.
It's still in the back seat of the truck, and they are not in order. We could have told Caden to come on, and I could have got him to put them checks back in order.
Oh, man.
Those pigs are going to buy them something nice, something real nice.
Oh, man.
And here it is, Loretta stepping on checks, and the checks are all muddy, and oh my gosh. Yeah.
No, the bill of sale was okay. I found it.
Oh, I didn't ever know that you found it. Okay, good. Well, we could get another one. Chip could give us another one.
He could give us another one. But yeah, I did find it.
I didn't say a word. I helped him pick it up. I never said a word.
What can you say?
I just Oh, no, we don't know if we found them all. We hope we did. I mean,
I'm pretty sure we did. I didn't see anything else out there.
we
so.
certainly didn't count them. It's a bunch, y'all. The bank wanted like $350 for a binder
It was
with
crazy.
checks in it. Our personal bank. And so we reached out to one of these online print things and checked on it. And you could buy a binder and all these checks for like $50.
It was crazy.
And the more you bought, the better deal you got. So I said, we're always going to need a check. So let's buy like 500.
And the reason why we got the big checkbook and all that's because I lose it all the time.
He loses it all the time.
So I can't lose this one. I can just leave it outside and let the wind blow it everywhere, but it's hard to lose it.
Well, needless to say. Yeah, somebody said Peaches is going to pitch a fit. Peaches is going to pitch a fit, but Loretta and Gus didn't because they got all those blank checks.
Gosh.
Oh, y'all, it was a bad start to yesterday, but I forgot about it and I couldn't help but laugh after I after it got settled down a little bit.
Yeah, good thing it wasn't near the goats. That is true.
Oh gosh,
that is true.
Loretta and Gus didn't eat any of them, that's for sure. But did Peaches fire you?
Not yet.
His wife fired him. And the thing is that I'm the one that kind of keeps up with that book most of the time. I can tell him where the checkbook is. So I must have put it back because you knew where it was when you took it with you.
I did. Yeah.
He's just gotta be more. I don't know. It don't work. I don't care what I tell him.
It's not gonna work.
I could say,
it's
Lee,
not gonna work.
Do this. Let's try to write things down. Nothing works.
It's not intentional. It's just they don't.
Well, that's why I don't get mad about it. Is because it's just how your brain works. It's it would be easy. I mean, not to say it's not aggravating because it is.
I imagine it is.
But it's aggravating for me.
It is. It's aggravating for me. The other day, I lost my ear pods, and I bet I spent an hour trying to find them, and that was a whole hour I wasted. And I will beat myself up. Y'all will beat myself up. And
I wasn't here. You
wasn't here, and I checked and. You can find them on your phone, but it doesn't work. It works, but it doesn't work. It could be a lot easier or better. But anyway, it's got a little radar and it's going trying to help me find them. And I did finally find them, but it led me in a roundabout direction.
Why don't you tell them where you found them?
In the driveway in front of the barn. I'm not quite for sure how they got there, but they did.
In the driveway.
I'm talking about loose.
On the ground.
Not in the little case they're in.
No, you found the case and it was in the barn.
No, the case was in my pocket. That's why I thought I had my AirPods, because usually I try to take them out and put them back in the case. Most of the time. It's that, that 10, 20% when I don't do it is when I get in trouble.
Well, I'm just glad that you were able to do the search and find them. And they were unharmed.
They were unharmed and they still work.
Do you know where they are right now?
Mm-hmm. Well, I got places I know where they're either going to be over there or they're going to be in the den on my table. Most of the time.
Most. That's the kicker. Most.
If they're not there, then I got subcategories. They're going to be in the bathroom or upstairs.
I remember you told me yesterday, remind me that I put the truck keys right here.
I did.
And
I took them to the truck yesterday because I said, good. If I don't do it right now, I'm going to forget them.
Well, that's what I push to Jason is I ask him to do something and he forgets. And I'm like, please just do it right now. If you do it right now, then you won't forget. Don't put things off because you're going to forget.
Well, doing it right now is easy. It's when I have the checkbook in my hand and someone's like, oh, what's that? And I set the checkbook down. And then I go to that, and then once I go to that, then it just starts spreading. And you go to this, and then I go to that, and then I go to that. Checkbook's long gone then.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to start putting a notepad around your neck, and everything you do, you have to write it down. I need to do this. I need to do this. It's coming.
I need somebody around me all the time.
That's what I was fixing to say. It's gonna be some kind of robot. It's gonna sit on your shoulder and go around with you and say, Jason, did you remember the checkbook? Yeah. The times have changed.
That's right.
With ways to remember things. So you're in good luck with that.
I am.
I mean, we all misplace things, and I'm not knocking Jason, because we all have our things that we do bad, things that we do well, but you know, it's bad. It's real bad. It's real bad.
I'm good at retracing my steps. That's usually how I find stuff. It's like, okay,
Clipboard
stop
around
what you're
your
doing.
neck.
All right, what did you do? And what did you do after that? And so that's how I usually find stuff. But I do waste a lot of time.
Somebody said they put a
Air
tag
tag
on stuff. Yeah, we'd have to have 1,000 air tags. We'd have to have air tag for everything under the sun.
Yeah, because it could be anything, like the checkbook incident.
I mean, you don't know.
Yeah.
It could be keys one day. It could be sunglasses the next day. It's everything. I mean, everything.
Yeah, it's funny when it's, you
need a service dog.
I do got one. She just don't help me on this kind of stuff.
She don't help you.
I mean, I can talk to her and she acts like she's, what? Tell me, explain it, Daddy, in deep.
Like,
I got a weak signal again. See it right there?
Yeah, there's something going on. It's something going on.
But up here, our real signal is super strong.
Are you on a different internet?
I'm on our main
I'm
one.
saying on here.
No, I don't have nothing to do with it.
Why are you on the Zyxel?
Because it's still full.
Yeah, but that's the one we don't usually use.
It's the main one. That's why I use it.
Oh, goodness.
I don't know.
Goodness.
And see, it's gone now. I don't even show it over here.
Yeah, and people are not able to comment, so I guess it just...
That's weird. That's weird.
All right. So, yes, I don't think it has anything to do with the storms, because this has happened for 3 weeks in a row. I may just have to call them and see what's going on.
Well, see, I ran a speed test yesterday.
Well, you ran a speed test when we hung up the other day. I say hung up, when we got finished with the live.
Well, I knew it was wrong then. I figured that out. But I ran a speed test yesterday and it was back to normal. So
I don't know. I got a phone call yesterday when I was on my way home, and it said, "This is Central Electric Access. We are telling you that there will be a power interruption on Wednesday, the 21st, between the hours of 8 a.m. and 1 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
And my question is, will the power be out from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m.?
Mm-hmm.
Or is it going to be just possibility of during that time?
I don't know.
But they usually tell us when there's an internet problem too.
Mm-hmm.
And y'all, one of our reasons for moving here is because we have the best internet option available.
It is.
It is awesome.
I saw Dee Dee asking me, were there any more cast iron projects? Yes, I am. Nick has got me a tub, a bigger one. I was having issues with mine because my pans wouldn't fit all the way down in there. So Nick's got me a bigger tub, and so it's big. It's not like a feed barrel, but it's not that big of a feed barrel. So it's perfect for what I want to do. So I got it, and then I got to put the rods in it. I'm thinking about doing a rebar. Even though we got those metal strips, I have to sand those down because they're all painted. And it's kind of a pain to sand all of them down.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have to drill holes and connect them. Mr. Bob, I think I'm going to copy his tank and just put the clamps. So he had a clamp that slid down, and that way he could daisy chain them.
Okay.
With the clamps. So,
well, I bought the other day at the thrift store a toolbox, and it doesn't latch all the way.
It's an old toolbox and a lot of old tools in it.
And they're all rusted.
Mm-hmm.
And I paid $10 for this old toolbox full of tools.
Mm-hmm.
And Jason said, I might put those in the electrolysis tank.
Yeah.
Because they're good tools. They're just rusted. And you think that would take the rust off of them?
Oh, yeah.
Would it really?
Yes, goodness. Like butter.
And so I could then coat them in some oil and they'd be good as new?
That's right. A lot of people saying that. I saw a lot of people saying there's big solar flares today.
Huh.
And then I've seen a lot of people say that it's not just us, it's been a lot of people.
Huh.
Internet's been freezing up the last few days or so.
Interesting.
Oh, somebody said that their neurologist said to take vitamin B12, that it helps improve, and it has helped them a lot.
Well, I take B12. Maybe that's why I'm so sharp.
I take a
That's
multivitamin,
supposed to be funny.
but I don't. The mushroom powder is supposed to help too. I couldn't see any difference though with it. It really didn't. I tried it for a month or so. I couldn't see any difference in the lion's mane and whatever. I just didn't. But I'm gonna have to look into the B12.
Well, the doctor said I was on the low end of the scale. So he suggested, and I was always told by my mama, who her doctor told her that B12 had to be injected, that you couldn't take a, pill form of B12.
It doesn't absorb or something?
It doesn't absorb. Huh. And so she used to go in for B12 injections. And so when the doctor told me that I could just take a pill form of B12, I said, will the body absorb it? And he said, yes. So I'm like, well, this doctor said your body won't absorb it, but this doctor said it will. So I don't know which it is. I'm thinking, am I taking this B12 and it's not absorbing? I don't know. But he sure told me to take it. And so I'm taking it. I don't know. I'm sure, B12 injectable is immediate. It gets in your system faster, but I take it every single day. I don't know.
I don't know. I be honest with you, I doubt it's going to help me.
The B12?
Yeah, it's still going to be the same. And I'm just born that way.
This ain't nothing new though. It ain't like it ain't like it just started. I mean, if it just started, I'd be concerned, but it ain't nothing new. And me and Mary Carl were talking about it yesterday, and we got to kind of laughing about some things that people have faults. And she said, but Daddy's so nice. That's what Mary Carl said.
Well, that was sweet.
Well, it was, and I didn't deny it. So that was sweet too.
That is sweet. I
said, he's very caring and loving, and the good part makes up for the forgetfulness. There are men and women that just aren't kind, and every bone in your body's kind.
Yeah, I guess so.
I ain't no guessing to it. It's for real. You don't have any not kind bones in your body, and that makes up for forgetfulness.
I empathize really, really strongly.
Well, that's what I mean. Yeah. There are no.
I can't watch sad movies. I can't. I just can't watch them. I'll cry like a baby. I can't do it. I can't. If it's sad, I can't do it. If me and Mary Carl are looking at somebody say, "Hey, watch this movie," and if it's got an animal in it right off the bat, the first thing I do is I Google and say, does this animal die in this movie? And if it says yes, I don't watch it.
Well, and it's not just about movies. You're like that about your family and your friends and your everything. So that little bit of, while that's a big deal that you have a lot of forgetfulness, it outweighs it with your good mannerisms, because I think my daddy was a typical man. Just not sentimental. And I say sentimental, that's not really the word I'm looking for. Not sympathetic, he just was different. He was like many other husbands that I know. And you're different. So I'm thankful.
I'm very different.
Yeah, very different.
Very sensitive. Yes, I am very sensitive.
Yeah. Yeah, my daddy wasn't sensitive. Most men are not sensitive.
I can cry at a commercial.
And I don't mean crying. I just mean caring.
Yeah.
And I don't mean my daddy didn't care. He did care, but he didn't show it. He didn't. Most men don't outward have emotions, and you do. Sometimes I have pride out of you, but you do. Make you talk anyway.
That's right.
Enough said. What else you
got? That's pretty much it.
Well, before we go, I wanted to say something about Luberson. I started to try to find some emails and some things that people have shared with me about how this Lubricin has helped them, helped their animal. There have been a couple of people that said, I've been taking Lubricin for a month now and I don't see any results, but they're few and far between. Mm-hmm. For the most part, everybody that reaches out to me says, thank you so much for telling me about the Lubricin. It's helped me so much. I thought I was going to have a knee replacement, and now I realize that I may not.
Yeah.
Just stories like that over and over again. I don't at all want this to come off as spammy because we are not that kind of people.
Right.
We are simply sharing what we hear.
Yep.
My mama told me yesterday, she said, Brooke, I don't care if you tell people that the Lubricin's helped me because I can get up and down a lot better than I could before I started taking it. Mm-hmm. And I said, well, I'll share it, Mama, but I don't want people to think that we're being spammy. I want to help people.
Yep.
If I could buy it for everybody that needed it and send it to you for free, I would, because I feel like we're here to help people. So if, the code, yes, they're telling us
Cog Hill, all one word.
You can use COG HILL, all one word, to get 25% off. And here's what I was leading up to. Somebody sent an email this morning that said, I thought I only got 25% off my first order. And I went to reorder and I got 25% off again. And I am so thankful because it's helped me. And I thought I was going to pay more. Mm-hmm. And they said, that the code had really helped them and made them to where they could afford it. And so therefore, I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled with people that have had good results.
Yes.
I do want to continue to hear it because I always share it with Jason and we smile. It's so meaningful to us. I feel like that medicine was put in our hands for a reason.
Yeah, me too. I do.
I mean, the success stories. I'd never heard of it. Y'all had never heard of it. Most of you.
Yeah, it was our vet.
And it just, it's just meant to be.
Yep.
So 25% off if you use the Cog Hill for the promo code, or there's a link that you can use on our website. And if y'all don't know what I'm talking about, it comes in human form. Help cats, dogs, horses, cows, everything. Just check it out because I want to help people.
Speaking of helping people, I had this written down and it slipped my mind, and it is, I talk about it and I don't want anybody to get scammed. Facebook is the worst. Okay. Facebook is terrible. And I pick up on new things that they're doing and I try to stay ahead of it as much as I can. And so y'all don't even see them, but some of them do slip through the cracks. And I notice what they're doing now is they're going through and they're liking or they're hearting your comment. And I guess that's to get their foot in the door. So if you see a strange like or a strange comment or a strange heart on one of your comments on our or anywhere, but really on our page, I think what they're doing is that gets their foot in the door, and then they'll come back and try to message you on the back end. Just be careful. Please be careful. The other one I see trending right now is FedEx. Their name would be, I'm the FedEx driver, is such and such, or I'm the FedEx manager, or I'm the FedEx CEO, and they got a FedEx picture. And I haven't had any of those slip through. I've caught them all, or the system's caught them all, and they're saying, hey, message me because your package can't be delivered. So y'all just be careful. Number one, FedEx is not going to message you on Facebook to start with, but just be careful out there. Please be careful. We're never going to ask you for any contact information, any credit card information. We're not going to ask you for money. We're not going to ask you to send us a message, any of that. So just please be careful. One that slipped through the cracks yesterday that a lady sent me that I went back to go find, so it had been deleted or I never could find it, so they must have got caught, was, I'm giving away a free mini cow, contact me here. And he had sent it on like 20 or 30 different comments on there. So it got taken down before I got to it. So
but we can't catch them all.
We cannot catch them all. Some of them slip through the daggum cracks.
You got a phone call that said potential spam. You put it on speaker and it said, this is UPS.
This is UPS.
And
my account was
to deliver a package, but your account needs more money on it. And they wanted you to, jotted off this promo code and all this stuff that you needed to do in order to activate your account. It was a scam.
And with the new artificial intelligence, it's a lot easier for them, and it's going to get even easier for them.
My mama got a package yesterday, and she opened it and said, Brooke, I didn't order this.
Oh, goodness.
And I meant to tell you about it last night. And it's some kind of CBD gummy and CBD oil. And I was like, what is this? And so I Googled the company, and lo and behold, they sell on Facebook. They sell on all kinds of social media sites. And I think it's a scam.
Think it's a scam?
Well, she ain't going to take it.
Right.
You know, but I told her, I said, you need to call your credit card company and just make sure that you haven't been billed for this, because it could have somehow gotten through on a social media hack. It's scary.
It's scary. It's scary. Facebook, I mean, YouTube does a lot better job at filtering them out than Facebook does, but I try to stay on top of it.
And we do block them, but we don't see them all. So we don't have anybody sitting here that can just scroll and catch hackers or catch people trying to spam you.
Yeah.
It happens. It happens.
Yep.
And it will continue to happen. They're going to continue to get more clever. Unfortunately.
The bracelets the bracelet reminders are on our website. If you go to our website,
www.coghillfarm.com. I'll tell y'all something.
Dwarf zinnias, they are a full sun, probably at least 6 hours of full sun. That's what you would need.
I have been typing things in on my search bar because I've been sitting at the computer doing some research, and it won't take it unless I put www in front of it.
It won't take it.
No. Sometimes if I type it, it's a website, you know, I type it in on a search bar. It won't take it. But if I put that www in front of it, it takes it.
Okay.
So I do that every time. www. Y'all put that www in there. You get to where you're going.
That's right. That's right. Somebody said that the toll one. Yeah, that's the new one for us too. Gosh. I get a text message at least once a week saying that I didn't pay my toll. We don't even have any tolls.
And here's the thing. Mary Carl gets them too. She doesn't even have a driver's license. How could she get a toll fee?
If they tell you to copy and paste the link, then you know that's a scam whatsoever. So
what did I see?
The post office text saying your package
there was something about the gas company that came up this week.
Oh, goodness.
If Allegasco comes around and tells you that they need to, or calls you and tells you they need such and such to inspect your meter, don't do it.
Yeah.
It's hard.
It is hard. Japanese maple trees, how to plant them. It's just like any other tree. Dig your hole twice as wide. Don't plant it too deep. Plant it even with the root ball or about an inch higher. And Japanese maples, they can tolerate shady areas for the most part.
Depending on the variety. Oh, what was I fixing to say?
I didn't mean to interrupt you.
I don't remember what I was going. Oh, here lately on Facebook, and I'm using Facebook because I use Facebook. Everything I see is a scam when it comes to animals.
Yeah, most animals are trying their scams. Yeah.
And the thing is I'll see it like this is a big one. Porta huts. The ones that we use for our pigs and our geese, and we've always used porta huts for the goats. If you see a post that's got porta huts for sale, I ain't saying it's always a scam, but they are using them big time.
I didn't know that.
Yes, and people comment left
all the time
because it's something people want, and they're scamming people.
I got my climbing roses from Petals from the Past, and they got a website, and they will ship. They will ship. The climbers we have here are climbing Pinky. That's the one out front. That's thornless. The one you see back here, that's American Pillar. It's not thornless. It's probably one of the most thorniest roses you can get. You got to be careful with that one.
Just wear your gloves.
It is. And that's our one most people see right now. I got some more, but they're not showing out quite as much as those two are.
All right. Well, it's raining today, and obviously it's raining in a lot of places. So we hate that the tornadoes affected anybody, but once again, our thoughts and prayers are with those that in the areas where it was affected.
Yes, goodness.
Thundering now. But what
It's right there. See it?
Okay.
That's weird.
So he won't be doing a toast to y'all, but we're gonna say it's a toast because it's almost 10 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever you're doing today, I hope y'all have a wonderful day and
Y'all be good. Stay safe.